Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my homemade root beer pound cake from scratch. Now, I always did like root beer, but Pepsi is still number one. That was my all-time favorite, even though I don't really drink sodas anymore. This recipe calls for about 15 to 20 servings, depending on how you slice it, and it is delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your root beer pound cake. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need some all-purpose flour or cake flour. Just want to warn you, if you use cake flour tends to produce a drier crumb, so use that at your own risk. Alright, and along with that, you'll need some sugar, salt, baking powder, unsalted butter at room temperature, large eggs at room temperature, whole milk. I'm using the 2% milk fat, but you can use the full fat version. And you will also need some Barq's root beer. Now you could use any type of other brand of root beer if you like. And for our flavorings, you will need some vanilla extract, butter extract, and root beer concentrate. And this is by Zad Brands, of course. You will also need some confectioner sugar and some Baker's Joy nonstick baking spray. And to bake your pound cake, you will need a Nordic Ware anniversary bundt pan. And this is a 15 cup in capacity bundt pan. Okay, so you will need that because the cake that we're making is pretty big. All right, and there we have it. All right, let's get straight to it. So in this medium-sized bowl with this mesh strainer, I'm going to add 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use cake flour as well. Okay, and to that we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to go ahead and just sift these ingredients into the medium-sized bowl. Alright. I'm going to take my spoon and I'm just going to give this a quick stir. That looks good. Alright, so in a separate medium-sized bowl, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of our Barq's root beer. It could be any other type of brand of root beer or any other flavored soda if you like. All right, but remember, you have to add the extracts. You have to find the extracts and all that to match. All right, and to that we're going to add 2 teaspoons of our root beer extract. All right, so to that we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now the butter extract is just for the icing, so I'll save that. So now I'm going to take my whisk and I'm just going to give this a quick stir. Oh, this is going to make this cake taste good. Ooh, it's going to make it taste good. Oh, yeah. All right. All right, here we have our root beer mixture and our all-purpose flour mixture. Now you want to take this and place this on the side because we're going to alternate this into the cake batter in just a minute. All right, let's get started with our cake batter. So in a stand mixer fitted with the paddle attachment, we're going to add 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature. And to that, we're going to add 3 cups of sugar. Now we're going to go ahead and start our mixer on a medium-low speed just to get that butter and sugar incorporated. Then after that, we're going to turn our mixer up to the highest setting and we're going to mix this on high speed for 6 minutes. Now you want to go ahead and at some point during those 6 minutes, you're going to go ahead and stop your mixer and just scrape down the sides of your bowl just to make sure that the everything is mixed in. All right, now we're going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of our bowl again. All right, now we're going to add 5 large eggs in one at a time while mixing on a medium speed. You just want to add 1 egg at a time, and when that egg is incorporated, then you add the next one and so forth, okay? All right, now we're going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of our bowl. Now at this point, now that the eggs have been incorporated into the batter, you want to be careful not to overmix this. And what I mean by that is that mix this on a medium low to low speed, and also don't mix it for too long. Only mix it for less than 10 to 20 seconds or until the mixture is incorporated into the batter. Okay, now you want to be careful because if you overmix your batter, it can cause your cake to sink, and it'll also have a streak inside the cake batter, which would appear like the cake is undone no matter how much you bake it. It could appear to be a small streak, or it could take over the entire cake to where if you look at it, it looks completely raw. So you most definitely do not want to overmix your batter. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Just mix it until it's incorporated on a low speed. All right, now we're going to alternate our root beer mixture and our all-purpose flour mixture into our cake batter. Now we're going to add this into the batter 3 separate times while mixing on a medium low to low speed. All right, now let's get started. I'm going to add my all-purpose flour mixture. Now remember, we're not doing any measurements or anything like that. And I'm going to just pour my root beer mixture in there. It's the first amount. And I'm going to just mix this until it's incorporated. It shouldn't take no more than 20 seconds. Now see, it took no more than 20 seconds. Simple, and we mixed it on the lowest speed possible. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of my all-purpose flour mixture and my root beer mixture. And I forgot to scrape down the sides of my bowl, but that's all right. And I'm gonna just mix this until it's incorporated. All right, now we're going to add the last of the all-purpose flour mixture. Whatever amount you have left, just add that in there. And the root beer mixture, just pour that right on in there. And you know, of course, I forgot to scrape down the sides of my bowl. It happens, you know. Just make sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl before you add your flour and your root beer mixture. Now I'm going to mix this until incorporated. All right. Now we're going to scrape down the sides of our bowl. All right, now to ensure that everything is mixed together, we're going to start our mixer on a medium speed, and we're going to mix this for about 10 seconds. Now, if you don't want to do that, you could just take your spatula and just mix the batter manually, and that'll make sure that everything is incorporated. All right, y'all, we just sprayed our bundt pan with the Baker's Joy non-stick baking spray. Now, when you spray your bundt pan, you want to make sure you spray a nice little coating at the very bottom, and on the sides and on the middle section, you just spray a light coating. Just want to pay attention mostly to the bottom. All right. All right, now we're going to add our prepared cake batter into our bundt pan. We're going to do this as even as possible. Yay, yay. All right, I'm going to take my spatula and I'm just going to spread this around as even as possible. Now, to make the batter more even, we're just going to shake our pan slightly. Shake, 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 shake it up. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 325 degrees. All right, now we're gonna place the cake into a preheated 325 degree oven on the bottom rack. And I'm gonna just bake it until it's done. And I'm gonna let y'all know the baking time once I'm finished. All right, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes now, and this is how our cake looks after it's done. So let's go ahead and take it out the oven. Alright, now toothpick inserted into the cake should come out clean. Now if it doesn't come out clean, don't panic. Just place it back into your oven. Make sure your oven is preheated to 325 degrees and bake it for an additional 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, and then just do another toothpick test, and once it come out clean, then you can move your cake out the oven. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the cake cool completely, because I'm serving the cake the next day. I'm gonna just let it sit in this pan. I never had any problems with my cake sticking to my pan. All right, now as for you, after about 3 to 5 hours, you can flip the cake onto this cooling rack right here, and from there, if your cake is still warm within that period of time, you could just let the cake cool completely. Okay, now you never want to remove your cake out of the pan prematurely. I would say in between 1 to 1.5 to even 2 hours. The reason being is because once the cake is baked, it's not settled. So you have to let the cake settle and cool, so that way the flavors and everything can settle and increase, and that baking spray can do its job. All right, so it's always good to let it cool off before removing it out of the pan, because if you remove it out prematurely, the cake can fall apart, and also the outsides of the cake could actually stick to the pan. So you want to give the Baker's Joy non-stick baking spray enough time to work. Okay, and as you can see here, the cake is already starting to separate from the outside and even from the middle. All right, so I just wanted to let y'all know that. Good morning. All right, here I have my cake. I let it sit in my pan overnight. And I'm just going to take it and place it onto this little pan. I'll just flip it over on this pan. All right, there we go. Ready? There you go. All right, let's get started with our icing. In this medium-sized bowl, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of confectioner sugar. And to that, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons of warm whole milk, 2 tablespoons of Bundt's root beer, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half a teaspoon of butter extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of root beer extract. I'm gonna just take my whisk and I'm just gonna mix this. Give this a quick stir. And you wanna stir this until the lumps have been removed. Or to help better remove the lumps, when you add the confectioner sugar, you could place a mesh strainer over it and just sift it in there. All right, y'all, and from there, our icing is ready to be poured on top of our cake. Now for some quick tips, if your icing is too runny, you could always add at least 2 tablespoons of confectioner sugar in, give it a quick stir until it gets to the consistency that you want. But if your icing is too thick, then you'll need to add some more liquids to it, like whole milk or the root beer. You can add about a teaspoon or 2, give it a quick stir until it reaches the consistency that you want. Okay, but it's always good to make sure you use your judgment skills to determine if the icing is too thick or too thin. You could just take a little bit and place it onto your pound cake to see what happens, and if it appears to be too thin, it'll run off, but if it's too thick, it'll stay on the cake. So that's another tip for you. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and pour our icing on top of the cake. Do it the best way you can. It don't have to be perfect. Just pour it right on top. All right, now that we got that out the way, now we're gonna let the icing set for about 15 minutes. After that, your cake is ready to be served. And there y'all have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade root beer pound cake made from scratch. I'm gonna go ahead and have a piece of this right quick. Oh, look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Mm. Mm-hmm. It's really good cake. The cake is slightly dense, moist, and it has a mild root beer flavor. Not too strong at all, just mild. And then that icing on the outside brings out all the flavors. It's absolutely delicious. So, give the recipe a try. Hey y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this fabulous root beer pound cake recipe. You can go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie Cook Andrews. So until next time, take care, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace. Look at that. How about that? Root beer pound cake.